Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Rosanna from GÉANT. I'm one of the organizers of the Cybersecurity Month campaign, Cyber Hero at Home. Cybersecurity Month is an initiative launched by ENISA, the European Agency for Cybersecurity. But for those of you who are not familiar with GÉANT, just let me give you a short intro. GÉANT is the organization that delivers a worldwide network and a portfolio of services for research and education. It operates a pan-European network called the GÉANT network and runs a membership association for Europe's national research and education networks and runs the GÉANT association. Cyber Hero at Home is a campaign from and for the GÉANT community, and its objective is to help users to operate in a digitally safe home working environment, to protect and defend their identity, their networks, their devices, and particularly to be also aware of cybersecurity and cybercrime. The overall message is that every single one of us can be a cyber hero. With the fourth and last event, we close our program of webinars on the last week of the campaign, which focuses on the sub-theme, Protect Your Identity. So with the title, How to Mess Up Yours and Your Organization's Life, we are very happy to welcome today Stefan Lüders, who is the Computer Security Officer at CERN. CERN doesn't need any introductions. So Stefan's presentation starts from the consideration that all safety measures that we adopt in real life are thrown overboard when we enter into the digital world. So Stefan will go through some examples, real life examples, where computer security was put in danger by lack of priority, negligence, ignorance, or as he puts it, plain stupidity. Okay, the webinar will last 1 hour, including 15 minutes Q&A. So please use the Q&A function or the chat to throw us your questions. And happy listening. I hope you enjoyed. You have lots of questions for Stefan. And Stefan, the floor is all yours.
The camera is mine. Thank you very much, Rosanna. Thank you very much. A pleasure being here. So I will spend the next 45 minutes to talk about how to mess up your life and also how to mess up the life and the security of your organization, because both of those things are quite together entangled. But we'll start with something very basic, your laptop. If you think today of your laptop is the core together with your smartphone. Here it is, here's mine. Both together are the core of your digital life. If you screw up one, think of your digital life once more. And I just asked the question at the very beginning. If you have to reinstall your laptop now, how sweaty are getting your hand palms are getting? If your smartphone is gone, how sweaty are you getting? And if you're really getting sweaty, if you're getting nervous, you know this feeling, where's my smartphone? This is exactly how it shows that our digital life is turning around things like a laptop and things like a smartphone. If you look even closer, here's a very nice XKCD comic, which is more or less saying that everything we're doing nowadays is around our laptop. So if I have access to your laptop, I have access to your bank account information. I have access to your payment methods. I got access to your mail. I got access to your Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp applications. I got access to your local files and photos. I got access to your remote files and photos. I got access to everything. So think once more about your laptop. And this is what we will talk about today, about 3 most important things which you're owning. Your laptop. The second thing is your computing account or your computing accounts, which you might use everywhere. Hopefully different accounts, but still. And think about the accounts. This is another joke here. Yeah, you're getting a new puppy, a new dog. You can name her whatever you want to, but you need to have something which you can remember, because that will be the security question which is following you for the rest of your life. Remember that one? You need to reset your password, and what is the name of your first dog or your first car, the brand of your first car, so on. So think once more. Your laptop and your smartphone are living in symbiosis. If you fuck up your laptop or your smartphone, then your digital life is completely screwed up. I will have a couple of more of those windows here. I put some links in between. I assume we will share the presentation later, so you can click on those links and maybe read something more. Maybe tonight I'll discuss this with your family. So, and if you're talking about attacks, We are not living in the void. You are not living in the void. Here's an example of an attack groups which is running Silent Librarian, which is an attack against something like 300 universities in 22 countries. And they so far caused damage, which are around $3.4 billion. Just think of this. And this is an attack which is already dated from 2019. Here's another attacking group called APT40, presumably coming from China, and they are dedicatedly attacking research and education sector, governments, and technology organizations. So there is a real attack vector going out there. You are under attack. There are emails getting in your mailbox which are just intended to do evil things to you. There are emails to you which are intended to take over your laptop. And if I own your laptop, I live your digital life. Remember the symbiosis. Your family is under attack, and of course your organization is also under attack. And they might take, when they want to attack your organization, different ways. They might go first to your personal laptop. If you carry your personal laptop into your organization, then it's too bad for the organization. They might attack your personal laptop, and once you log into your organization, they might again go against your organization. So we are living in the symbiosis with our laptops and our smartphones, but also our personal life and our professional life are somehow starting to mingle. I don't know how many of you are bringing the personal laptop on site, working on CERN site. Working on site at CERN is something which is very, very common. So here's an example, very simple. It's called CEO fraud. It's more or less basing on the game that we obey authority. Here's the authority coming in the name of Fabiola Gianotti, who is the Director General of CERN, and she sent an email. Hey, I don't tell you who it got, but are you still working on vacation? I need your help with logistical service transfer matter. Completely innocent email, no details, asking for help. And if the boss is asking for help, of course, you reply, I'm at work. At the moment, I am. And yes, so here's next mail then. Apologies for the trouble. I need your assistant to transfer 2,875 euros. Okay. Since I'm a line management, I got a budget. So yes, no problem. I can transfer the money. Please send me the details. And here are the details. Thank you for your last reply. Here are the account details to transfer with the bank name, the IBAN, and of course, SWIFT code and the beneficiary address. Who else would like to help somebody? Just if a friend of you is contacting you, or if your boss is contacting you, we are helpful people, aren't we? We're trustful people. We trust in those people. But hold on, check that last email once more. You spot the difference. Actually, none of those emails ever came from the Director General of CERN. The mail protocol is made in such a way that you can send emails on behalf of whomever you want to. I can send emails in the name of Rosanna or Leonardo or Charlie or whatever else, or Mickey Mouse. I can preempt to send emails in whomever name. That is the mail protocol. It's like the normal mail, the normal snail mail letters, where you can have an envelope and you can put any sender address on the envelope. Nobody will ever check that one. And here, it is not coming from Fabiola, but it's coming from something like boardpress@gmail.com. And if you look more into the details, if you do a reply, the reply will not go to Fabiola Gianotti as it's intended here, but to boardpress@gmail.com. So this is a CEO fraud, somebody trying to impersonate our Director General to press some money from the poor victim who is replying to those emails and maybe later on even transferring the money. Here, the victim did not transfer any money because he was clever enough to contact the computer security team first. So if you receive an email, just be skeptical, be vigilant, and if there's something dodgy, just ask somebody who might know better. If you just got divorced and you get a love letter from your ex-wife or ex-husband, that might not be true. If you got an email of naked pictures from Britney Spears or whomever else you fancy, that will not be true. If you are getting an email from Deutsche Telekom on the next invoice of your telephone bill, but you not happen to live in Germany, you don't have a subscription with Deutsche Telekom, or even worse, if you're even German speaking, just be skeptical and ignore those emails. So there you go. Be skeptical, be vigilant. There is no 100% security. And this is where the attackers are playing against. We will never reach 100% security. If somebody is offering you 100% security, he's a fraud, or he's working for insurance, or would like to sell you something. It's more that security is as good as the weakest link in the chain. And unfortunately, the weakest link in the chain is not technological. This is a sociological problem. The weakest link in the chain is us. The attackers have the advantage because they can attack you wherever they want to. They can go against your smartphone, against your mailbox, against your laptop, against your account, via your WhatsApp account, via your Instagram account, via your Facebook account, via some other dodgy web pages. They got the whole plethora of attacks here. And you at home have to protect yourself against all of those ones. This is why we're doing this little bit of sensibilization here. So, and the attackers who are really sophisticated will come with money, with knowledge, and even with time. Less for attacks of home users, there they just take the plethora of users. So if I send spam or phishing emails to 1 million people, there will be always somebody who's replying. So the big number makes it. But if they would like to attack your organization, they have money, they have knowledge, they have time, they will take really their time to crack your organization, and it might come via you. So here is a lion in the desert. What is your objective when you're with a lion in the desert? Of course, you have to run. But if you're with several people, so all of us now, 25, 30 people in the desert seeing a lion, what is your objective? You run, of course. But your objective doesn't need to be, you have to be the first. You just happen to be the last, because the last one is to be caught. So just apply some security measures, and we go through a couple of them in the course of this presentation. So the next one I show you applies to you at home. And once you apply this at home, bring it to your organization and improve the security of whomever you're working for. Here are 3 screenshots of a weather channel of the Brazil 214 World Championship competition, and a screenshot from the fire brigades consoles, which happened to be in one of our bulletin articles at CERN. Do you spot the problem on all of those 3? I guide you to those ones. All of them are disclosing passwords. Think of your password, and even we disclose this in an article. You can see the picture on the right bottom side again, where the password was put in. So again, think of your password. Your password is a personal secret. Somebody here maybe typing the password in the chat, or maybe even better, give me your credit card number and your PIN number, put it just in the chat, but make sure that the chat is only addressed to me. I would appreciate that one. But think of this one. This is a personal secret. You must not share your password. You should not expose your password. Those are blunders, putting passwords on whiteboards, putting passwords on stickers. Of course, understand why people are doing this. But if then those passwords getting disclosed, you can get in a very, very troublesome area. Think of your laptop once more. If I have your password to your laptop, I have access to your laptop. And if I have access to your laptop, weekend is coming. What I might do is I will start reading all the documents on your laptop. There might be some juicy stuff. I might copy this data, I extort the data, and send you an email saying, look here, I will publish all your data, all your photos, everything else I found on a web page if you don't pay me money. Or I encrypt all your data, which is called ransomwaring you. I encrypt all your data on your laptop, and you pay me some money so you get the decryption key, or not. This is then more or less my prerogative to give you the money or not, the decryption key or not. Either if you've paid me, I might not be ethical, and I give a shit. If I have access to your laptop on the weekend, I might enable your web camera and just watching what you're doing. Why not? Or your microphone and just listening to your discussions. Or I'm just waiting until you open your web browser and you start doing internet banking and I get your password. Or Facebook and I get your password. Or you're doing Instagramming and I get your password. So you see your laptop and the symbiosis. This is what I mean. If I have your password, I have access to your laptop, and I more or less can exfiltrate everything what is on your laptop. So once more, lose your password, you lose your laptop, you lose your digital life. So take care of your password. Here's another example how we can lose passwords by fake emails. We learned already at the beginning that the mail, the from, can be faked. And here it even came from a real person. It's pretending to come from webmail IT service, but actually it doesn't come from webmail IT service. It comes from Sandra Ward, who's working for Charter Internet. And poor Sandra, her mailbox has been hacked, and she's now asking, or the attacker's asking, for your password. Here's another email. Click to verify your account. Once more, looks good. Maybe from PayPal, but it is not. There are 3 chances. You click on the link, you end up with PayPal, and you can log in. Will not happen. You click on the link, and you end up on the fake PayPal webpage. and you type in your password, and the attackers have your password to do shopping with your money via PayPal. And the third chance is you click on the link and you infect your computer. Once you've infected computer, I own it. I have access to your data. I can extort your data. I can look at your videos. I can enable your web camera and listen to what you're discussing with your family in the evening hours. So watch your click. You can hover your mouse on top of the link. And if there's something which is looking gibberish, yes, here in the gibberish, you see there's PayPal name, but it starts with an IP address, doesn't look really serious. So if you just have to take some things away from today, two things are, take on your password and stop your curiosity. Clicking on this link might lead you to your organization's webpage. Here's the CERN single sign-on webpage. It's at least saying CERN single sign-on, sign in with your CERN account. But hold on, it's not hosted at CERN. It's hosted at the Centrum at Scheveningen, DOP. I think this is the small village of Scheveningen. And this webpage has been hacked and somebody's misusing it to fish, to harvest email addresses and passwords from CERN. Here's another one, Laser Care in Portugal, got hacked, and now it's hosting a webpage which shouldn't be there. There's even this webpage here, CERN.cf. Did you spot the difference? Asking for user and password for logging in. So once more, you see a link, you see an attachment, stop, think. And if you think this is legit, you can go ahead. If you think this is dodgy, just don't click. Spare yourself the embarrassment, spare your laptop the embarrassment, and save your organization the embarrassment. We are testing people at CERN on a regular basis, sending them emails like this one. From Darren Port Smith has shared a file with you, and dear Stefan, please see the attached on your input to our results. Oh yeah, well, let's have a click. Or that one. Please see the attached for your 2019 contract amendment request. But hold on, somebody's seeing already why it's dodgy. Look at from where it's coming. It's coming from CERN.org, but I'm CERN.ch, so that is not even me. Here's one which is coming from CERN, where the attackers are playing with the M and not using the N. And again, it's an attached document. Here it's CERN.ch, oh, getting better. Here it's CERN.ch. See it in the email address, Fran Federico Campesi, CEM.ch. If you get a very small font on your screen, you might mix the RN of CERN with M, and you might just open the attachment. Yeah, but is this legit? It is not. None of the people are existing. If you open the Word document, it's even giving you a notice saying, look here, you need to continue. Do you want to continue? It's getting you to this web address, which is the document store.cern.ch. Apparently not, because there's an IP address in front of this. So again, looking dodgy. Remember what I told you before, if dodgy, don't click. The same if you go on the PDF. In the end, this is a campaign for sensibilization. So none of the people who clicked we wouldn't have done any harm to the computer, but the people would get just a web page like this one explaining why certain emails are bad. So think of emails again. Do you trust the sender? Do you see the email address something legit? Is it addressed to you? Are there some typos in the text? But most importantly, does the overall package make sense to you? And if it does not, maybe that's the moment where you stop and ask somebody for help. At CERN, we did this every year, and we get something like 20% click rate on the people. So 20% of the people who will receive this email out of something like 25,000 are going the distance to open the attachment, clicking on the link, and then having infected their computer and putting the organization at risk. And it's not a question whether you are more technical person or more working in administration, or even if you're an IT guy, people are clicking because that's our curiosity nature. And this is what we unfortunately need to stop. We're trying to block this, but we have the problem security-wise blocking this. We can only block 50% of the cases, and all the other cases will just go through. So 10% still is something which we cannot protect against. And if you look at the timing, here's the timing of our campaign. It's starting something like at 9 o'clock in the morning. We're getting the first report by some concerned users, something like 10 minutes afterwards. So this is where we can start deploying countermeasures, which take another maybe 10 to 15 minutes. And everything what's happening there, we cannot protect against. So you see how difficult the defense side is. So if you're getting emails which are dodgy, just stop there. Some people are asking questions. I received the email below from the email address cern.com, which is well spotted, well done there. But unfortunately, I clicked on the link. Yuck. So there, halfway through, some room for improvement. This seems to be a very well done phishing email using the name of the CERN department IT. Perhaps we should issue a warning. Thank you very much. This is a good one. And there are even people saying, look here, this mail looks fishy. The sender email address ends with CERN.com. Well spotted. The mentioned hyperlink redirects to a particular IP address instead of the mentioned link. Well spotted. And the contents of the email looks odd. Well spotted. Good and done. This is how it should work. This is how it shouldn't work. I didn't click, but I forwarded it to a colleague and he clicked to see the page. So once more, if you get such emails, be careful, analyze this email. I know this sucks, but this is how you protect yourself at home. This is how you protect your family and your organization. If you get an email, just refrain yourself from opening it when it's looking dodgy. And if there's no link with anything you're doing, if it's even the wrong language, that is the moment where you should stop. So once more, watch your click, be vigilant and be careful. That sounds very, very easy, but it is as easy. If I just have 1 or 2 wishes, this is the one I would like wish for, that everybody before clicking on the link is thinking a second time and just not follow the finger and just hit the mouse button. So if you can do that, that would be great. That would be the alternative. You click on the link, your computer's getting infected, and whoops, all your files have been encrypted. My bad. And now you have to send $300 in Bitcoin to the following address. Not sure how many of you guys know how to do this, but in principle, if you now look at the left-hand side, you got something like 2 days and 23 hours left to pay. If you don't pay, we will raise your payment. And if you don't pay within 6 days, we will just delete all your data. Think once more about your laptop. If you have to reinstall it now from scratch, how sweaty are your hands getting? Do you have a backup? If you don't have a backup of your laptop at home, think of all your pictures, think of everything you're storing on your laptop and you do not have a backup. Now's the time, not now, but maybe in half an hour is the time to go to MediaMarkt and buy an external hard disk, connect it to your laptop, do a backup, disconnect it and put it in some drawer. And you do this, not the buying, but you do the backup on a regular basis. Your organization should take care of this. Here's another example. All your files have been encrypted. Too bad again, asking for money. I don't see how much money they're asking for at this very moment, but this is what's called ransomware. And those are the easy ransomware cases because it's just, I'm sorry, against your laptop. But here's some ransomware attacks against the Maastricht University, hit by a cyber attack, and almost all Windows systems were affected, including the mail service and others. Think of that one. Somebody clicked and the whole infrastructure of your organization is started getting encrypted in ransomware. This is something which can be costly in the order of millions. Here's another example from the Ruhr University in Germany. Due to a computer attack, a ransomware attack, the central infrastructure, the large part of the IT infrastructure, and email, VPN tunnel, internal service protocol, and so on, have been all taken out of operation. That is disastrous. So once more, think before clicking. Have an independent backup for home usage, and external hard disks will do it. If you're an IT manager, now's the time to check how you put all your backups, your disaster recovery means in place. And if you're asked to pay money, just don't pay. First, you subsidize criminalism when you pay. Second, you do not have any guarantee that you're getting the decryption key. And third, it might be even illegal in certain countries. So just don't pay. Make sure that you're prepared, that you don't get it in first instance. And if you get it, you have the backups in place. Coming back to passwords, you see the mistake here. This is a public screen somewhere hanging on the wall at CERN. The login account is CERN. Okay, very creative. And the password hint is where we are. Somebody wants to try in the chat and just guess what the password is. Give it a try, show me some, but it's easy guessable again. So make your passwords non-guessable. First thing, make your password long. If you are an engineer, physicist, mathematicians, take a formula, take the Higgs Lagrangian, the Schrödinger equation, whatever else. Take the Pythagoras theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Brilliant password. Take the first poem of your favorite poem, or the first rhymes of your favorite song. Those are good passwords. Use multi-factor authentication where possible. This is things which your bank is offering you already on usual cases. So if there's an option for multi-factor authentication, enable this. This is a panacea. This is the silver bullet. So you might should take out your smartphone on a regular basis when you log in, because then you have to type in not only your password, but also secret which your smartphone is giving you. But this is giving you best protection against the theft of password. Let's do a quiz. Here, more insecure devices. This is a coffee machine at CERN. And if you click on the little button on the top, which is saying Frankie, you're being asked for the password. It's just a coffee machine. But this is an internet connected coffee machine. So if you type the password, if you type in 1111, you're the owner of the device. If you type in 7777, you don't need to pay any money anymore, because you can circumvent the money dialogue, and you get the coffee for free. So if you're running devices at home, your television, your Wi-Fi access point, your electric car, if you're running some devices at work, think whether the default passwords have been changed. And if you don't know, maybe time to check. Here's some more examples. National Instruments are giving you some controlling devices. Please enter the administrator password for. The default is pass. Thank you very much. I don't need to Google the web anymore. Now the default is there. Here's a security camera. No user account created yet. Logging with admin and the password is 1234. Brilliantly done. Change default passwords. Or there are devices like the frequency generator, which doesn't even come with password protection. So if you just know how to connect to this one, and this is why a web page, you just need to know what the name of the web page is. You can control the frequencies, or you can control the power. So switching on and off via the small little box things. So might be a nice idea, switching on and off the current of a house or of a PLC. Or if you have put some web cameras on, you might spy on people like this poor guy here. And if you zoom in, you can see what he's watching on his laptop. So once more, if you have embedded devices, think of them. Do they have some passwords which you have to change? Go away from default passwords and put something reasonable in there. If you happen to have web cameras, respect the privacy of the workspace. At home, you can deploy them wherever you want to. If you deploy them in your office or on the corridor, you might already touching privacy aspects there, and then you're spying on people. So watch out for those ones. But we're back again on the subject of passwords. Here's a very brilliant example at CERN. There's a guy who's a security researcher called Ruben Santamata, who was writing a post involving CERN, the Large Hadron Collider. Oh, this is already where I'm seeing alarm bells. SCADA, which is more or less an abbreviation for control system, and passwords. And this combination, CERN, Large Hadron Collider, control system, password, this is ringing all bells, because what the guy found was a document which was public on the internet saying how you connect to CERN and how you do it with which password and with which username. And what you would have gotten is access to one of our control system, which I would consider to be part of the crown jewels at CERN. So once more, if you have to share passwords for control systems or with your peers, please try to avoid this. And if you have to do this, protect and control how you share those passwords. Do not just put them in a document where the document might leak and become public. And if you got people on your team who are leaving, that's the moment where you would like to change the password, because once they have left, they have no business with you anymore. So those are very, very simple rules if you're running bigger systems. And passwords are everywhere. Some programmers here, I can't see your hands up, but maybe give me a sign. It's a little bit unidirectional here. This is why I like live presentations more, because I can't see whether you follow me or here. But here's some code written by somebody. And if you look in the code, the password can be found in the way of the private token, which means that the password is now ending up in some software being public. Here it's even more evident. To connect to an Oracle database, the username and the password is there. So once more, if you're dealing with passwords, make sure that your passwords are well protected. We're running again the same subject, password protection. So if you have secrets, make sure that those secrets do not appear in public repositories. Unfortunately, this is how we do programming nowadays. We put our software public so others can use our software. That's the whole idea about writing software, but reusing software can come with some risks. I hope there are more programmers in the room, because if you're developing, there might be also the other way around. How to infect your computer, how to infect your organization. just download some software. This is what we're doing. This is how you program. Somebody did it already before. Let's download this from the internet. Somebody had this problem before, download a solution from the internet. But sometimes you might download things which are malicious. Like here, this is a software which is called REST client, something which is used by some people, and somebody dared to change the original on the library somewhere on the internet and put some malicious backdoor in, which means more or less malware infecting your laptop or infecting your whole system. The same thing is happening here. Some packages are found to opening shells, which more or less means, again, it's compromising, it's installing malware on systems, because people are just automatically importing those softwares from the internet. There was a study being done in February this year about something which is called the supply chain dependencies and supply chain attacks, where with the green light of big companies like Netflix and others, those researchers were able to compromise Netflix and others, the companies, by something very, very simple, just changing external libraries and waiting that those libraries are imported by the company into their software. Think once more, whatever you click on the internet, think of it, it might be evil. If you click on the wrong link, it might infect your computer. If you type in your password on the wrong web page, it will compromise your password, it will compromise your account, it will infect your computer. You download something like an image, or you download something like some software, it will compromise your computer, and from your computer, it will hop onto your organization. So again, watch what you automatically download and import from the internet. If you're a software developer, if you're doing any kind of software development, if you're starting with web design, if you're doing some hardcore programming, if you're doing control systems, just watch what you download. Ideally, try to analyze this first. Here's another example, web pages. You got an input field here, and this is the CERN phone book, where usually you're supposed to put in your name to get my telephone number. But this has never been properly conceived. So you can put in some code, and code on a web page might start with something like script. It's just telling now you're using JavaScript, and then the command of Java is coming saying alert. This is prone to cross-site scripting, and the end of script. This is software. This is a real executable software which is executed in a browser, opening a pop-up window, which is just saying this is prone to cross-site scripting. So here there's no damage, but I can put any script into this one, which means that this script will be executed on your client side, on your laptop, and might do evil things. This is another example. This is another example. This is another example. This is called cross-site scripting. And the blunder, another example, the blunder is if you're setting up web pages, if you're programming, you need to check what you are expecting. If you're expecting a name, why should there be a bigger sign or a smaller sign or hyphens? If you're expecting numbers, just invalidate and reject letters. Check what you're expecting. If you're expecting a date, look that the date is really a date and not something illegal or invalid. Sanitize and validate your input on the server side. It is very simple. It just needs to be done to protect your organization. I give you a very small video. I dare to share a video, which is very simple. I will talk you through this video. It's just something like 90 seconds about a real attack against my organization, which is already dated. It happened in 2010, not 2009, sorry. And we reproduced this attack. And that shows two blunders how my organization could have been attacked. The first blunder is the people did not sanitize the input, and we come to this in a second. And the second is the web server, which was hosting this web page, was not put up to date. So let's cross the fingers. Can somebody confirm that you see my video? Just a yes or a thumbs up or...
Yes, we can see it.
Good, let's start this video then, and you tell me if it's not running. If you look at the video, everything is happening at the very top, where somebody is poking around with this command prompt, which is called subdetector. So what he's trying is, can he now put some text in, which is changing the look of the web page? And indeed it is. Now he managed to have an underlined arbitrary HTML code, but what he's changing at the subdetector parameter is making it in the web page, which means now he can inject commands into the web page, because this is now executed on the server side. You can do something more. You can use some Linux commands, something like IT, to tell you who is running this web server. That's maybe too technical, but more or less what's happening here is the same thing what's happening on your computer. This is now executed on this web server directly. Still is no harm done, but it's just asking who's running the web server, and the answer is Apache, which is standard for some Linux system. But it's also asking now, when did this web server have been started last time? How old is it? And if you look, in January 19, this web server has been started last time. The date of today is listed at the very top, 26th of November 2009, which means there are 11 months between the restart of the web server and today. 11 months where the operating system of this particular web server has not been updated, which means that it's full of flaws, full of vulnerabilities. Now you just need to check the internet to figure out what might be those vulnerabilities so I can exploit them. And this is what is now being done by the attacker. I just let it go now. The first thing the attacker is doing, he's making his life more comfortable. Instead of typing stupid things at this very top where you put in your web address, he's opening himself something we call a shell, something which is more comfortable, a small window where now he can interact in normal behavior with this web server. At the moment, it is still my colleague called Roman Wachtel. Now he's waiting for the web server to call him. He's sitting at home. He's executing now his so-called backdoor. Give it some time. Here it is. Contact me at home at Alex Bra 1904. The web server is calling me home now. And at this very moment, Roman has access on the web server. So he's now literally sitting like on your laptop, enabling the camera, enabling the sound, accessing all the data. Roman is in, but he's still not the god, not the administrator of the web server. So he now wants to break into the web server to become administrator rights, to do whatever he wants to. And he found something which is called Wunderbar Exploit, Wunderbar Emporium, which he's now downloaded from the internet. Here it is. He's executing this. Still, he's only in the context of the web server. Now he's executing his exploit, and within 5 seconds, he is becoming something which is on a Linux system called root. He is the administrator of the system. He owns the system. Whatever he wants to do now, it is his. He has pawned the server. It is his server, and he can do whatever he wants to, including attacking CERN from there. And it was just 90 seconds. And it was 90 seconds because of two blunders. First, the input has not been sanitized and validated. And the second is the software has not been kept up to date. So once more for you, protect your password, multi-factor authentication. Be vigilant when you click on links, and when you're doing programming, sanitize and validate input. And if whatever system you're running, make sure that your software on your iPhone, on your laptop, and everywhere else is kept up to date, so flaws like those ones cannot be exploited. Coming to something completely different, license infringements for home or at work. If you need some software, make sure that you own the software. This is a problem which every university is facing, and I'm getting from time to time emails saying that they have identified some serious infringements on my network concerning the illegal use of software. And that might lead even down to quite some substantial demands on money because there were license infringements. None of them here were really related with CERN, but this gives you an idea what can happen. So if you're running software, use paid licenses, buy the software, or go through your IT department and ask to buy the software for you. But do not just download software from the internet because you think it might be useful for you. Even note, if you're using open source does not mean that the software is for free. You might even need to pay for those ones. So once more, if you're using software, don't download the software freely, but make sure that you can use the software on a free basis, or you have to pay. Similar things with images. Here's a webpage of CERN with Mr. Bean. Not anymore. Here's another idea of having a logo from the CERN Aquarium Club. I think this is coming from, I forgot this. This is not the Simpsons, but the Futurama. This logo here. Here's a webpage with a woman looking at something. And here is the skyline of Chicago. All of those pictures are owned by somebody. All of those pictures have been downloaded from the internet to pimp up a web page or pimp up a presentation. But in the end, all of those pictures are owned by somebody, and those people are making the money with this one. They're asking for getting money for those ones. So here we got, again, image copyrights. And if you download pictures from the internet, make sure that those pictures have the common, they can be commonly used for free. If not, you have to pay money. There are even some web pages like this one. Those are two pictures coming from a German cooking book recipe web page, but the business behind is not cooking or recipes. The business behind it is having those pictures being downloaded by people like me and then suing me because I'm abusing the pictures and I haven't paid any money to them for the usage of those pictures. So here, of course, I used something which is called Big Stock Photo. I used iStock Photo. I go for royalty-free pictures on commons.wikimedia.org, where I can download the pictures for free, but I'm not forced to pay money. But still, paying money is also an option. So Big Stock Photo or iStock Photo or others giving you all those images. So if you're giving presentations, if you're setting up web pages, make sure that you own the right to have these photos, to show those images on a legal basis. Last but not least, films for home usage. When you start sharing films, and who's sharing films nowadays with Netflix and Amazon Prime and all the other things? But if you're sharing films, you might do already some copyright violation. And I'm getting notifications from some companies where somebody on my network at CERN is sharing certain films like Quantum of Solace or The Godfather, which is definitely not allowed. You are not allowed to share the videos you bought with others. You're not allowed to share and download those videos, put them on a DVD and give it as a present to somebody else. Depends on which country you're in, but you most likely might violate copyright. So once again, refrain from doing this. In particular, refrain from sharing music and videos when you're on the campus network of your organization. Just don't do this. Will just bring problems to your campus. Last but not least, what happens at home stays at home. This is a web page called Ashley Madison. I will not explain you what this web page is for, but maybe you get an idea. Unfortunately, Ashley Madison's web page has been hacked. And all the clients or the email addresses of the millions of clients they have, it's even listed here, 39,050,000 members. All the details of the email address, maybe even the preferences also on, all leaked on the internet. Among them, 6 email addresses of CERN. That could be embarrassing. It wasn't embarrassing for CERN because we got beaten by the United Nations, which has 20 email addresses leaking, and the University of Lausanne, which was second with 11. But think of the American military. There were lots and lots of more email addresses which were disclosed. So, and this can create lots and lots of problems for you. Somebody might blackmail you and tell you here, dear Stefan, I found you that your account on Ashley Madison, does your wife know? You pay me some money maybe, and I will not tell anybody. So once more, split your professional duties from your personal business. If you think you need to sign up on such web pages, use your Gmail or whatever else mail account, but don't use your email account of your organization. Looking at the time, I think I have to wrap up, and I will do. So what you can do, just a couple of very basic things. If you take those ones home, this is the slide to be on. Don't share your password with anybody, not even with your spouse or your family, and make your password as complex as you can. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. That is a nice password. Oh, it doesn't have any capital letters. Oh, I should change that one. But anyhow, that is a good one. Keep your systems up to date. Very basic stuff. Your computer is doing this automatically. You just need to give it some time to do. When you see a link, when you see an attachment, yes, I know it's tempting to click whatever has a line. We're a little bit childish here. You're getting linked. Look at this funny video of cats on WhatsApp. Click. Look at this YouTube video. Click. Look at this attachment. Click. Just stop. Think once more. Assess the risk, and if you think that it's not worth it, don't click. Alternative is reinstall your computer. If you don't have a backup, too bad for you. I will not cry. If you're a software developer, don't reinvent the wheel. Use existing services, but be careful when you're importing software from external places. There are tools for this. You can ask me questions how to do this. For the sake of brevity here and looking at the time, I will just wrap up here. Last but not least, this is computer security. That might not be your main field of expertise. This is fair. Whatever you're doing, it's not my main field of expertise. So what I'm usually doing, I'm asking people. If I'm writing articles, I will ask my communication people. So I will talk to Rosanna and see how I can make my article better and for improvement. I'm a very lousy French speaker. I'm asking somebody for translation to get the French right, and so on. I'm a very lousy cook. So I'm talking to my Thermomix, and he will help me to get a decent meal. So if you don't know what you're doing, just ask an expert. Get a book, train yourself. But please, once more, don't put your password on open repositories and open web pages. Don't click on links which are not intended for you, and keep your systems up to date. Final slide. If you want to read something about computer security, first thing is Who Moved My Cheese? That is a book about the reluctance of us humans when we are facing change. But computer security is a marathon, and it's changing very, very quickly, and you just have to catch up. So yes, your organization will change security methods on a regular basis. Please give them some hand, help them, follow them, and just don't lag behind, because if you're lagging behind, the lion is coming, and it might be you. There's The Animal Farm, which is my beloved book, because it's showing me that security must be applied to everybody. But there are always some people who believe they are more holy than others. And this I have to get rid of, exceptions. Sun Tzu, Art of War. That is how you do defense in the best way. It's a very, very old book, but it's still applicable, even if Sun Tzu did not know what computers are. And still actual, 1984, George Orwell, watch your privacy, watch out. I think this is still very important for our generations. And with this, I'm stopping. I hope you get some questions, because if you don't have questions, it might indicate that you didn't understand anything and I have done a bad job. And I would love to have done a better job than that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Stefan. I've really enjoyed your presentation. I'm sure all the other participants have. You are a real warrior. Yeah, I can see you as being a real hero against cybercrime. And they must love you at CERN, I am sure.
Yes,
you are on their case all the time.
I'm well prepared for questions.
Yeah, you're very vigilant. And you know, your comments have, your presentation has been very entertaining, and you've been hammering on all the important messages that we have been conveying in the, throughout the month with our Cybersecurity Month campaign. And it's incredible how lately the lines are blurred in our life between work and life, and how much we rely and depend on smartphones and computers. And how, the sweating moment, that you refer to, really very relatable, and how to be alert, at the extreme, at the nth, to the nth degree, because we are never alert enough. And if it happens to us, we don't need to be ashamed, because after all, we have to remove the stigma of making these mistakes, and just being more conscious that it's all around us.
I think you should not blame people doing a mistake. I never blamed my kids to do a mistake once, but if they're doing the same mistake twice and not learning from others, I think then I'm allowed to tell that my kids were in some circumstances stupid. You touch a hot plate only once. If you touch the hot plate a second time just to confirm that it's really hot, honestly, then you see, and the same thing is here. Learn from this. This is the slide. Any questions? The chat is really silent. I'm worried.
Do we have any good questions for Stefan? Or any questions? There are no good or bad questions. Questions are all good, I think.
I think I have a question. I can ask it live. Thank you so much, Stefan. I thought it was really interesting. And I was just wondering, from your first slide, have you ever lost your own phone or laptop? Have you ever had that moment where you had to?
I never lost my phone, fortunately, but I have this sweaty feeling where I'm sitting in the car, and usually I get my phone in my jeans pocket. So I touch my jeans pocket, and it is empty, and then I'm getting sweaty, and then I figure out, yes, I just put it on the seat close to me. But yes, I get those moments, so it's I'm not the only one. So
we received a question from, hopefully I can pronounce it correctly, Germont Meyer. Do you recommend to use a password manager?
So very, very good question, Gano. Do you recommend to use a password manager? So first, this is a multiple answer. First, I still wonder why we need password managers if we have a certain level of intelligence. My grandma was able to memorize hundreds of telephone numbers, and we cannot memorize a couple of passwords. But on the other hand, if you need to use a password management, yes, go ahead. There are very good password managers on the market. Some of them are cloud-based, so you have dependencies there. Some of them are installed on your laptop. Then you got it locally, and you need to have a very, very good protected passwords. But yes, if you think you need to have a password manager, go for it. Go for a good one. Good ones usually you have to pay for, and nothing is for free. So if the password manager is for free, think why it might be free. So yes, but yes, use a password manager if you have lots of different passwords. On the other hand, think of your passwords once more. The passwords giving you access to juice, to your Chrome jewels, like your laptop, or to your Instagram account, or you get personal data, or to your bank, or you get money behind like Amazon. Those passwords should be separate from each other, different in choice. If you have a password you just need it for signing up to a mailing list, for a newsletter, then you might even use a very dumb 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 password, or even just type something, and next time you need to access this, you go for the reset password feature. So there are passwords which are important, where the money is, where the personal data is, where your work is, and there are passwords which might be not important because there is this pandemic on web pages today where everybody's asking you to sign up for nothing, sign up to get the information, and there the password might not matter at all. But yes, good idea using a password manager.
We have another question, you see. How safe is downloading apps? Are there safety things we should pay attention to? From Claudia Spurl.
So if you're talking about apps on your smartphone, this again depends. There are two different models. There's the Google App Store model, which is an open store, and you can, on your Android device, you can install also software from different other sources. So if you go through the Google App Store, there you might be reasonably fine, but there were apps already in which were malicious. If you go from random web pages installing something, everything I told you before holds. What you're installing from the internet, it might be malicious. On the other hand, there's iPhone. Apple is really trying to control their App Store, and it's less likely having some malware installed for them because they have a very, very stringent scheme how you can publish. Gives them much less flexibility, but the security level there is better. So I would be vigilant in both cases. I've seen malware installed from both different stores, but as long as you go through the Apple Store or through the Google Play Store, you might be on the somehow safe side. But it's something like the somehow safe side, like you're swimming with lots and lots of other people in the same pool. If you're installing app from this dodgy web page over there, no risk there. This would be that would be an unclever idea. Not sure if this is giving you the answer. Maybe give me a nodding. Thank you. There you go. Thank you. I think Leonardo has a question there. Leonardo,
there is a question, a reply. Thanks for your explanation. And
okay,
we have received some comments, compliment for the very energetic webinar about a very serious topic. And thanks for the entertaining presentation from different participants. And also, I have a question about regarding your involvement in the raising computer awareness at CERN. What do you do? Do you host webinars? Is there a program in place that is followed, that you are involved in? And what do you do? I mean, I know it's probably a big question, very open-ended, but if you give us some pointers, would be interesting.
We're doing lots of things. The presentation I've given here, in some variation, I have given these presentations also to people at CERN in a forum which is similar like this one. Everybody coming to CERN, the newcomers getting 15 minutes crash talk like this one, but within 15 minutes with less details, more or less talking about the same thing. Your password, not clicking, and keeping your system up to date. So this is what I do at the so-called induction presentations about computer security. People have to follow an online course on computer security, again, turning around the same subjects, your password, keeping your system up to date, obeying the rules, of course, and not clicking. For programmers, we're giving dedicated courses. So if you're programming, we have secure programming courses in C, C++, and in Perl and Python. So those are tools, those are courses we're giving. And then we got awareness videos. We do this clicking campaign, which is very successful, to teach people why clicking on the wrong link might have consequences to your laptop. So this is what we're doing on general awareness. And then, of course, we can go in detail. Below you see an email address. Oh, I should have removed this because the White Hat program at CERN is not open for people outside CERN. But we're training actually people interested in hacking, into penetration testing, in vulnerability scanning on those tools to use this against their own systems. It's more targeted for IT professionals and people who are doing programming, but it's very, very successful because once you know what to look for, you can check your code, your software, your web page, your control system, whether your control system is subject to some risks there. So this is usually what we're doing. And the portfolio is much larger than that. But basically, those are the areas where we're getting engaged with the user community.
Brilliant, brilliant. You're busy. You're a very busy person.
No, just it's part of the fun job. I got a team. I'm just sitting on the shoulders.
We can tell you love your job.
My team is doing the great job. I got plenty of time, so I'm giving presentations and I hold the things together. I'm kidding, but it's an interesting job anyhow.
Brilliant. No, I can tell you're passionate about what you do, and that's come across in your presentation and has been appreciated. So very much, I think if we don't have any more questions, I think we can wrap it all up. And in fact, thanks from Leonardo, thanks for attending the webinar. And there is also a little short survey if you who are online now would like to take, just to give us some feedback, because obviously we are closing the Cybersecurity Month campaign, and we have to start thinking about what to do next year. And this year has been the webinars have been a novelty. We have had 4 webinars in comparison to last year when we only had 1. And I think there has been some good traction and quite a lot of involvement. And I've particularly enjoyed meeting all these experts and learned so much. So also there is everybody can catch up on the previous webinars. They're all recorded and they're all available online. And we have enjoyed today particularly, and we say goodbye to next year. Hopefully, we'll with more content and information to share with all of you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Stefan. It's been really
You're welcome. Cheers, guys. Stay secure.
Yes, we'll do our best.